Okay, on to our last learning goal of Unit 6. We are going to be solving story problems, but these ones now involve converting. So in some way, you're going to have to convert during these story problems. So these are some tricky ones. You have to really read carefully to see what the question's asking you. So just a quick reminder, the metric measurements are based on multiplying or dividing by groups of 10. So think about moving that decimal to the left or to the right. And if you want to go back and look at your little stairs or redraw in some stairs, please do. Okay, so the first one. Think about the next time that you want to help your mom make a really yummy stew. Your mom has 5 kilograms of potatoes and 2 kilograms of onions. She's going to use 3,000 grams of the potatoes and 500 grams of the onions for the stew. So how many grams will not be used? So there's a lot of pieces and parts to this question. So just think about what it's asking. First of all, you know she has 5 kilograms and 2 kilograms. So, but the answer it's asking you, the actual question is how many grams are there? So the first thing that you should, a red flag going off in your head is I need to convert the kilograms into grams first. So if I think about my potatoes, I have 5,000 kilograms of potatoes, and if I think of me as stepping down 3 steps, I move my decimal 3 places, so that becomes 5,000 grams. And I do the same for my onions, and I have 2 kilograms of onions, and that becomes 2,000 grams. So now, if I was to reread this problem, I might say your mom has 5,000 grams of potatoes, and she uses 3,000 grams. Now it just becomes a simple subtraction problem. So 5,000 minus 3,000. And in this case, 2 kilograms, I would rewrite that 2,000 grams of onions and minus her 500 grams that she's going to use because we want to know what she's not using. So when we work that out, she would end up with 5,000 minus 3,000 is 2,000 grams of potatoes, and 2,000 minus the 500 is 1,500 grams of onions will not be used. So again, there's a lot of pieces and parts to that problem, but you've learned how to do all the things that you need to get the answer. So you just need to now apply it.
All right, so now we have James is figuring out that he has about 2.5 kilograms of books in his book bag. And Mary is estimating that there are 1,500 grams of books in her bag. So they want to sort of figure out who has the heavier bag. So in this case, you can choose which way to convert. You can either, but the most important part is that you are comparing the same measurement. Yeah. So you can either choose to deal with all kilograms, or you can choose to deal with just grams. Yep. So first of all, I can think to myself, okay, well, 2.5 kilograms equals 2,500 grams, or you can think about how 1,500 grams is equal to 1.5 kilograms. So either way, if I want to just focus on grams, then I'm going to notice that James, I believe, has the heavier bag then. Yep. Or I can just focus on kilograms. Same thing though, I know that James has
once you
the heavier
convert,
bag.
it's just a matter of seeing which one is bigger, and that's pretty easy. Okay, so there's a couple of examples that we went over with you. Now we are going to give you an example and have you pause it and try it, and we will come back and give you the answer. So in this first one, Sammy saw 2 bottles of ketchup at the store that were the exact same price. One of the bottles contained a liter of ketchup, the other one contained 750 milliliters of ketchup. And the labels are so important to pay attention to. Which bottle was a better bargain? And you can't just say one or the other, you actually have to prove how you know it. So go through and try and figure that out, and then we will give you your answer as soon as you come back. Okay, so again, red flag. First one is a liter, the second one is milliliters, so you need to get them to be the same thing. So I know 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters, so because I'm thinking of my stair steps again. So once I know that, all I'm doing is comparing 1,000 to 750. So the 750 milliliters is less than 1,000 milliliters, which means that my 1 liter ketchup bottle is bigger.
In the better bargain then.
Yes. So hopefully you got that down too.
All right, so we just wanted you to be familiar also that you can solve story problems converting standard measurement too. So here we have a book that weighs 1.5 pounds, but what if you wanted to measure that weight in ounces? What would you do? Is this one a pause?
Yes.
Okay, so so think back to how many ounces are in pound. Try to solve for that. Show your work, and we'll go over that in just a minute. So first of all, we're going to think about, okay, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So that covers 1 pound. Then we want to think about how we have a half a pound. That's going to be half of the 16. So that's 8 ounces. Now all we have to do is add the two measurements of the ounces together, and we get 24 ounces then. That will be your total amount in ounces for this book. All right, now you get to try some on your own. So we have Kelly here who is making a yummy punch, and she's mixing 750 milliliters of OJ with 750 milliliters of pineapple juice. That sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
How many liters of juice does she have? So think about
big and bold and a different color.
Yes. That's all we'll say though. Then we have Ivan here who has a pretty nice truck that he wants to drive around. He drove 15 kilometers and stopped for food. Then he drove another 3,000 meters before he got home. How many meters did he drive total? So think about that. Write those conversions down and how you solve these problems, and we'll be ready to share tomorrow.
And label this 1. And Ivan is number 2.
Yes. Good luck.